Hey everybody, my name is Desiree, and if you've been watching me, you are aware that I have had two businesses, not counting the one selling the candy apples with my grandmother. But and I told you how I transitioned or the signs that God gave me for that one. But this one is about going into the cleaning commercial business. The reason why I went into that is because my mom had been diagnosed with cancer and she didn't have, the monthly, check she was getting, it was only paying the mortgage. So she needed food, she needed medical expenses, we need other stuff for the house. And I was like, Lord, I said, God, so it's a truck backing up. I said, God, give me something that I can, help with financially. And so God sent somebody, we had a conversation, and she was saying, she went into this business, which was a cleaning company. And so I remember that conversation. And so I called the business and figured out how much I had to, this thing is really annoying, figure how much I had to come up with. And so I went into it. But let me tell you, prior to going into it, the same thing with the daycare, y'all. I was on my job. I was working as a secretary at the church, and with this job, it was like I really loved my job. I had been there for 12 years. I was going to retire there, and hear God telling me again. I hope you can hear me. Hear God telling me again. I got to make a shift because something He wanted me to do, and I'm hearing something. I'm hearing something about how a job is not, it's not a job, it's an assignment. So we when we take a job, we taking it as a job, and the first thing we say, girl, child, I'm gonna retire here. This truck is something else. See, they ain't nothing but the devil, but it's going now. And so, but that's another video about job and assignment. And so I really wanted to stay at this job, but I'm telling you, God started giving me signs again. I said, Jesus, I won't try to leave. But yet I needed some extra income for my mom. So when I went to the cleaning business, I took like maybe two buildings, and those two buildings went to four buildings. And I want to say it was somewhere around about $400 a month. Really, wasn't quite enough to what I needed, but it was enough to kind of help her with food money. And then before COVID came in, God just gave me this heaviness that it's time to go ahead and give your resignation. I'm not lying. I gave a 365-day resignation. Who get that kind of resignation? But that's what I had to do for myself. Once I gave that resignation, I knew that I had to start doing things. Took my little check off list, and I started working. I started working on that check off list because I was like, this time next year we're gonna be making a move, and so I started building up the contracts because I just had like four, so I started taking more contracts. And let me tell you, when I moved, it was almost like I was working two full-time jobs because I wanted to make sure that I was making this not the same amount. I needed to make more money from the job I was going into because I need to cover medical stuff and other expenses. I didn't want to just be living like just to what I was making. And so I transitioned into it. And oh, what happened? I remember COVID came in, but I had already given my notice. So when COVID came in, it really helped me. I always say, I know for some people, it was like COVID was meant for us because without that, we wouldn't have moved. But that's what helped me make the move because it was pretty much my job was written off. Like they didn't even need my, because I answered the phone a lot. And during COVID, we weren't even going to work and answer the phone. So it just helped me with that transition. Again, I didn't make as much as the daycare, but this was based on that I wanted to just position it where I could work it myself, or sometimes I had somebody like one person helping me. My highest month with the cleaning business, I remember making about $10,000 a month. But let me tell you, I was like, I was running myself silly, and I had 3, 4 people cleaning different buildings, and but some odd reason they just won't acting right. So I was like, no. So I downsized it to where I could clean the buildings myself, and I feel like pretty much that's the story. Was I scared going into the new stuff? Y'all know I was getting paid on the 15th and 30th, huh? And this and the cleaning business, you got paid once a month. I think at the beginning of the month. Here come that truck again. And so yes, I was scared. I'm scared every time I go to a new venture. Scared every time. But let me tell you, the harvest, honey, the harvest, the basket. Oh, God would make sure that He would fill up my basket some kind of full. And I tell you, the hours I work like maybe 20 hours a week. And once I married my husband, he was like, he cleaned a lot of it himself. So it gives me a lot of free time in the morning to do what I in the daytime, because we'll go clean to the evening. So I'm telling you, I want to encourage you, I want to push you. When God gives you a vision, yes, when you transition, yes, you're working wherever you're at, and then you're working a new venture. So at one, it's overlapping. So yes, you working some hours, but honey, the reaping of the harvest, once you have made the final transition, it's just a blessing. So I want to encourage anybody that has that desire, passion in your heart, and you want to make that transition. And yes, we are scared, but you just keep knowing that the harvest is there, that God wants to bless you and making a lot more than what you're making on the job. He has done it every time for me. So I just wanted to encourage you, just want to give you some backstory of how things work for me. And I told you that I'm going to do this check-off list, so I will be doing it. I just wanted to get this video out. Blessings on everybody. I love you guys.